so here are the steps to make the book page wreath. As you can see, I've used most of the pages of this book. This is the book I got from Goodwill that I paid half price of this, so it was a good deal. And it had about 360 pages in it. So what you need to do to get the pages out is just take your box cutter or X-Acto knife and just go through the middle. And then you take them out. As you can see, these are the acknowledgments. So that's how you do that. Once you have your pages out, you start rolling them into a cone. And to do that, you take the corner, kind of start rolling in towards the center, and then once you get in the middle, then you start rolling towards the side to make the cone. So what you're going for is mostly a corner that looks like that goes up. And if you mess up like that, then you just do it again, so we'll make it a little bit tighter. So there we go. There's the corners coming up a little bit. The words are right there. That's what you want. You want to make sure that you fold them all the same way because of this, or anytime there's something in the corner, it will show. So you want to make sure that that's all the same. So once you get it done like this, you take your stapler and you staple the bottom. Now I've made about 100 of these so far to go with my wreath, so this will just be added to that. I'll make one more just to show you again. You go to the corner, towards the center, and then once you get a little bit going, then you start going towards the outside. You loosen it a little bit, and you get your corner. Sometimes this one on this side will be bigger. All you have to do is hold the bottom like this lightly and pull up to make it this way. So once that's done, staple the bottom and add it to my stack. Okay, so now we can get to making the flowers. This happens to be a different book, but for the flowers it doesn't really matter because you're not going to see any kind of writing that will make it tell which book it is. So I use this handy dandy cup to make my flowers. I use this glass. It's 3¼ inches across, so I just use it. But you can use whatever you want. You make circles. Here's what we're going for when we finish. These are flowers. So they start like this. You cut them out. This, by the way, I forgot to say, there's 4 pages of book here. Cut your circle out. And then you want to start spiraling. I just do this freehand. You just cut and you start making your spiral. It's thinner, is a little bit better in this case because if you do big pages or big cuts, it will make a bigger flower, and for our purposes for this, it's not what we want. Maybe that's what you want for something else, and you can cut bigger spirals than this. We want to make it just a little wide. It's probably about 1 inch or less, ½ inch. So then, once you have that, you start at the corner, you roll it in, And you just keep rolling all the way. If you're not perfect, that's okay. It's going to come out and it's going to roll out. So you just keep going in and you keep rolling it all the way. Once you get to the middle, it'll get a bit crowded. So you just keep going. In the end, won't fit perfectly, but so once you make it, you just kind of roll it through. Let this one loosen up. And there's your flower. So now I use tacky glue. Looks like this, Aline tacky glue, because I like it the best for this purpose. And you just put quite a bit. It looks like a whole lot. It will dry clear and you will not see it. All the flowers that I made look just like this. With a lot of glue. But once it dries, you put a glob each place in the middle. Trust me, it will work. You don't want it to come. So you just hold it for a minute. All of this had the same, looked like this. But then once it dried, you can't even tell. You see? So it is okay. You get it on your fingers, whatever. So once you have it like this and it's staying and not moving, then you put it to the side to dry. The prep work takes the longest in this project because you want to make all your cones and all your flowers beforehand. Okay. Now we want to make the wreath frame. So for that I used poster board from Dollar Tree. Actually foam board, not poster board. Foam board, the thick foam board from Dollar Tree. And I use this plate. My plate is 9 inches across, and then this smaller area underneath is what I use to make the inside. So first you're going to turn it over, use whatever you want, whatever size you want. Go around. There's the outer circle. Now since this has a ridge, I'm just going to put it and match it up and push it down. It will make, I don't know if you can really see that on the camera, but it makes a circle. And so you just put your pen around that. And there's your inner row. So then you use a box cutter or a X-Acto knife and you cut it out, and as you can see, this is far from perfect, but it doesn't matter because nobody will see it. So this part right here is 2 inches for me. So this is my wreath frame. Easy. That's all you have to do. So now we want to start our actual wreath. To start that, you take your cones and you want to start on the back. So we'll make this their back. So you take a glue gun. I recently upgraded to a large glue gun, but you can use a small one too. And you take, and this is the back. So remember, this is the back, so you want to do it backwards. You want the line of your cone to be in the back and this part to be in the front. So since this is the back, we want to do it backwards. So you just take a little glue, which is my new glue. There we go. Take a little glue gun and you put it, match it to the end. So you want to do the rest of the same, which is the rest of it. We'll just see how it fits. And all your cones will not be the same, and that is okay. Okay, so here we've got all the back done. It's fairly big. You got to remember it's about 2 feet across. When using book pages this big, you can use whatever size book you want. However, just realize that it's going to be bigger if you use more stuff. So I'm going to turn it over. So this is the front of our wreath now. And before we go any further, which I forgot and should have done the last time, was that we need to put a holder or a loop. So we need 2 feet of twine or string. I'm using jute twine. And figure out which one you want to be the top. And then wrap it around and put it between the 2 papers. So it's like this, and make it even. Pull it. And then you want to make a knot so that it stays. With the board. So there we go, and then you take it up and go about halfway or 3/4 up and make a knot, so that there you have your loop to hang it on the wall. And this can be cut. You want a pretty big loop because once it gets a lot of cones on here, it is kind of hard to navigate and hold, so you want a bigger loop. So we've got that. So that is the top of our wreath. Okay, so now we take our cones, paper cones, and we want to put them in the holes of the other cones. So remember, this is now the front, so we want to make sure our fold is in the back and our cone shows up. Our writing is the same all the way along. So we want to put it in just inside the hole, and you make it flush with the end. So you keep going all the way around, and you just go and filling in all the gaps. Should be pretty uniform, but if it's not exact, it's not really a problem either. There's going to be so much on there that nobody will notice. So we just go right over that string, and you keep going all the way around. Okay, so now we've got the first row done on the front. And as you can see, it's not the straight. It's okay. If there's holes in here, it's okay, because we're going to put 2 more layers on here. Because this, you see there's a hole, but it's okay, because there's one that's going to go right here. So you want to do another row just exactly the same as this, putting it in between those 2 things. So you find the center again, and we keep going around. Doesn't matter about any of this because we're going to put the flowers in the inside, and you won't see that. Okay, now I've got my second row of the front, so that makes we have 3 rows of cones. 1, 2, 3. Now we have the last row, one more row to make. And these ones you want to make a little bit smaller. Still put them in the middle, but you want to get a little bit towards the end. So at this point, you have to glue them to other paper, so you might need to put a little bit extra glue on than you normally would have, and you put it in there and you put it a little bit down like this. It's still in the hole. We're coming to the final stretch of this part. Got my glue. Alright, so there's 3. So I will see you back here when I finish my row. Okay, so here we have all of our rows done. So these ones that we put on top, you need to just fold them over kind of. Best you can. It's going to be so then turn it over top, and then we're going to just watch your fingers in this. As good as you can get it. We want to move the middle. And if they come off, just glue them back on to another page. Nobody will see any of that. Okay, now we're going to turn it over and put our felt. So I used my same plate, and I made an outline with a white color pencil. So I'm just going to cut along my outline. Circle. So we're going to put that around the back. Just put glue. Here we use my smaller glue gun, so you can use either small or big. We're just putting glue around the upper part. Then just make it the same. Push down slightly. And so we have the middle. So push down. Now we want to take all our flowers putting them around. So we're going to start in the middle. So you want to go to the end of the book page, end of the pages. And you just stick the first one down there with hot glue, and you push down. There you go. Hold down for a second. And there you go. I'm going to make sure they point out. So I will finish going around and then I will be back. Okay, there's my first row of flowers. Now I'm going to do a second row to cover the staples. And you just go around and put flowers into the, you can push them up close, or you can have them far apart. It's up to you. So I will do the second row and then we will be back. Okay, here's our second row of flowers and the middle flower. So now we are done and it can be hung up. I think it looks really nice. Thank you. Bye.